Hmm. All right. What are we looking at today? Go ahead and taking a look at the VIX. Sentiment seems semi-normal here. Hmm. VIX. Hmm. All right. Got a naked point of control right up here at 677025. We would have to break above that point of control that held us lower the entire day yesterday. But if we want to revert back to that high volume node, even though that would be absolutely crazy, there is still a chance that we make a way up there because we have been traveling back to that high volume node literally every single day. We are gapping up here. Definitely gonna have to watch how we respect that point of control from yesterday. Um, I would not expect a bigger dump today. 8:30 we had whatever that was, so we can definitely take a look at the anchored VWAP from that and see how we're retrading in relation to that. So 8:30 was right here. Excuse me, that was 8:45. 8:30 really had no movement. We had a lot of volatility at 8:45. I'm actually gonna anchor it to that point there, and we were holding below that anchored VWAP throughout the entire morning from 8:45. We're now breaking above it, showing bullish signs there. Our ad insanely positive 1500, tick at positive 1000. So I could imagine that we could make our way up to that point of control from Wednesday. Very, very balanced day that day. I really like that right there. 6754. I like possibly getting up there. Um, just making our way towards value is the name of the game. Could we get a gap and go? I don't know. Just let it flow. That would also bring us right back to that anchored VWAP from the reversal that we broke below. So what would I need to see to get bullish? Definitely my fixed range. So we're getting some value developed right here at the 6713 level. Tick making its way down. See if there's anything holding us lower. We are at the point of control here. Right, so we're definitely not buying into this point of control that we had from yesterday. As you can see, crazy resistance level. If you don't have that marked on your chart and you're trading this gap and go, the probabilities of that are so extreme. I don't feel like shorting right here because this is simple support and resistance. You know, we've tapped this level a billion times. We tap it again, right? We could continue lower. That's not the trade for me. I'd like to see the tick right here continue to stay above 0. I'd like to see the ad continue to incline or increase and make our way up to the value right here at about 6757. Right up there. I would really like to see that as our reversal trade here, but today could totally be balanced and we continue to stay in this range all day today. Between, you know, 6722 and 6684 could totally be what happens today. I'm 1 day to pay out, 1 day to about $2,100 in the account, so I am going to just trade with complete low size today. I mean, taking the bullish trade here, taking a look at our moving averages below the 200, below the 5, below the 20, below the 50, and you want to go long? I mean, yeah. Very clear break and retest level here. I know a lot of people are going to look to fade this push. I'm not interested in that. Is my mic off? What's going on here? There is still a chance that we make a way up there because we're traveling back to that high volume. Yeah, we still got it. All right. All right, so why am I not shorting this? If this had been, you know, this to me, even though we have our naked point of control from yesterday that we ended up trading towards and holding below, I don't like this. Too many people are looking at the bodies right here thinking this is a resistance level. I don't want to be on the side with all of those traders looking at that. I want to see if potentially we can get volume to try and develop here. If we get no volume to develop here, and we continue to push higher from this level here, I'm looking for the pop through this level. And if I don't get it, I don't really need to trade today. So, I got all week. All I care about his money in the center. Now, what we will look for right here is if any high volume nodes have developed. Potentially come into this pocket here. We can even see right here that low volume node ended up holding, but we have this massive block above here. So we're definitely not buying that low resistance right there. We'll get them on one. I said I'm on one. We'll get them on one. And, you know, we could totally get hit by this right here. Anyone going long? Okay, let's take a look at this. Anybody going long through this area right here, not understanding that this low volume node right up here could send us straight back into the range. Very important. If we start continuing higher here, I would almost like a reversal trade back down into this area. So I would imagine we'd push higher from here up to here. Do I want to take that trade? Is that being too greedy? I don't know. We have this. I'll take that pop from here, from this low volume node here, if we can hold. Right up to 6733. So we want to look at our tick. And we are going to push higher from there. I want a higher low somewhere, really. I really like that. Up to what did I say? 6773. 6733. Does that push? Nice. 6733 is where we're looking to exit this. Right up in here. Which allows us to, even if people trade this breakout here and we revert from 6733, get that push right up there. I really don't want a retracement at this point. Getting our pop, volumes developing, crazy volume here. Go, I'm working on holding trades longer. I want to show the low volume node that we took the trade off of with our higher low. Ticks right at 0, adds inclining. I really like this right here. Up to 773. There we go. We're taking some off here. Selling 4 right there. Take 2 more off at 773. Look at that. Beautiful 2 off there. Two more off. I think I didn't really get the 2 off on the other one. Sell 1 on this pop here. So if we were to break 773 right up to 773 right here, crazy add, crazy tick. Selling 1 there. And we'll leave this bad boy running here. Bango. That is how we do it. We capitalize on the low volume node. What was the draw? We're going to continue to watch this right up to 773. See if we want to get a big push from here. About 500 on every account. Yeah, we're actually going to take all of it off there because this is a good reversal point. So I'm not trying to hold through this. This was all I wanted. This push up right here. And we might continue higher from here. Why am I cautious of 773? Well, if you look right here, if we look at the 4 hour, we marked out that we could potentially get up to 770, but this low volume node on this 4 hour could completely send us straight back into the range from here, right in here, if you can see that. It'll load up here. We have this low volume node right at 734, 773, 733. If we want to tap into that and reverse us back to the range, I don't want to be part of that. As you can see, we're having some trouble right there. But what we looked at was when we had a low volume node, make sure I'm out of all my accounts. Yes, sir. When we had our low volume node at this point here, we pushed up, we made a low, and we entered expecting this low to be safe, taking us to 773. So our trade looked like this. Entering up here, our stop below here. We were targeting 733, and we're climbing, and we could potentially reach 770. I don't really need to be in the trade to see that happen. So we got our accounts all at about, 52,000. One of them's at 51,808. And, we could take a payout here. Like, take out about 1,000 on each account times 3. Sitting at $3,000 in a payout. Just a beautiful, beautiful trade. 500 on all accounts. And look at the rejection from 733. Understanding we might have sellers step up there. This is developing like a kind of a trend day, but we have now the tick declining, the ad going up. I don't want to sit through this anymore on a Friday. We are going to watch what happens at 10 a.m. to see the job reports. All right, can you hear me? And that's exactly why we're taking out all, we scaled out of that push up right there. If we look, loaded up at this point here, scaling out on the push, scaling out on more, and taking the last one at that low volume node. We don't want to be in the trade anymore for this. We want our push, allow, if the what trend wants to continue, you know, we don't have to be part of that because we don't know if it's going to. It's a Friday. We could revert straight back to the range, but if we're going to reverse, it's going to be from that low volume node that we had at 7733. And that's exactly why we didn't want to take the fade right here. And while we were pushing up into that, that was just a beautiful, beautiful trade with beautiful execution. Now we have a declining tick. The ad is kind of pinned at 1200. And we just want to take ours and continue the success. That's all we can do. All I care about is money and I'll get 'em all one. Low volume node here, we take the long to the low volume node up here. And what do we want to do? Reverse right back to the range. We're holding New York VWAP here. I don't feel comfortable trying to long right now. This market could be lethargic, even though we did develop volume up here. High volume here. What would we need to see? I'm not personally a fan of all these low volume nodes here because we could in fact reverse from any of them. If we were going to look for a long position here, so at this point now, we're looking at this, and this could be the lower high from this smart money buy here to send us up to 6770. Pop into this low volume with the anchored VWAP from New York. We could have a low here, and then we could potentially see a higher low at this point here. I might want to see a fake above the 9 EMA, you know, a closure here, lethargic close, get a higher low somewhere in this point. Maybe a double bottom right here, and then continue up to 770. However, we are pinned between 2 points right now. Big push from New York VWAP. Not a big fan of buying right now. Are getting smacked down by that high volume node. If we were going to take the trade with low size, it would look like this. Up to 7, up to this point here. That is asking for a lot. I mean, if we're going to continue higher, these buyers are going to have to hold here. Only thing to get me interested that I'm not seeing here is I would have liked some kind of compression right here at this point. Candle compression like this to rip us up. Just a lot of sellers stepping up at that high volume node. Like even if I was to risk like 100, I don't even know if that would be worth it to me to make 300 on, you know, a potentially balanced day like this. Yeah, big sellers coming in right there. Not a fan for me. Also not a fan of the shorts at this moment. See what happens at 10 a.m. Ma one. Get a ma one. All I care about is money and cause I'm ma one. I said ma 1,000. That's 600. 2,000. I'm on one. All I care about is money Yeah, we're definitely patient right here. Anchored VWAP. I mean, perfect scaling out. That's why we do it. So my bread and butter trades are straight into the area where we understand that the buyers or sellers want to take this for now. If we want to continue, that's completely fine. I can look for volume to develop up here and take the re-entry on a low volume node. There's no point in sitting through something like this. So that's exactly why I'm enjoying just cutting my trades. Obviously, you look at 500 for every single account and you're like, dang, bro, like, how are you not extremely proud of yourself? Like, I am, but you got to fine tune it. So, is anybody going long in this area for this breakout here? We're going to come back and wear them out. I don't want to be part of that. See what these ICT traders are doing. That ad's declining. That tick is declining. I mean, I'm not seeing anything right now. These were the main buyers. If this wants to become the higher low and we do get a fake below New York VWAP at this point, what would cause me to enter? Definitely need the break above the 9 EMA. But we have sellers up in this area. Came back to that high volume node, rejected. This could be the fake. Big volume push. I would like to see this thing get sent back up to 770. We have a lot of value developed at that area. So at this point here, we have our higher low. All I care about is money and If we can get this here. See, I don't like that sweep there. Not a fan of that sweep. I really wanted to see this become an equal to higher low internally. Now these smart buyers just got swept out here. This looks like a balanced day. The only thing that I was looking at for this to potentially go long is if we did have that fake below New York VWAP, we faked above 9 EMA, we came and made another internal higher low here to send us up to 770. I'm not interested in shorting this. This doesn't look like sellers to me. This just looks like a balanced day. We got the first initial move up to that low volume node at 733. And then from there, you know, we could do whatever we want. This ad is breaking down. Tick is breaking down, but there's not enough confirmation for me to want to short this market after the sellers didn't want to take this thing lower yesterday. So, this value area here is probably where we'll sit for the rest of the day. And just wear out anybody who's trying to make, you know, big bucks on a Friday like today. Like, you have to be aware of, just because we have a break below the New York VWAP doesn't mean that sellers have stepped in. It just means that the buyers aren't interested. So it'll just make its way back down. And especially if we don't want to break down from this point, not interested whatsoever in shorts. Yeah, if we get a pop above here, I'm gonna go ahead and log off for the day. If buyers wanted to step up, potentially up to 770, we didn't want to break through that low volume node. Yeah, I'm not interested. These were the smartest buyers here. They didn't want to continue it from here. They didn't want to continue it from here. So when you take a look at this, you see the low volume node that we had that we broke up to push to this low volume node. If buyers were present, we would have continued this higher. They didn't want to step up here. They should have stepped in again here. We failed that. We failed one more time here. I personally don't believe that that means that sellers are present in this market. It could. But the fact that yesterday they didn't want to come in and take this thing lower, they are potentially waiting for, you know, something else. So I had said if we get the pop above here, I'm not interested. That's exactly what we got. And you just got to be fine with missing moves. So we'll take what we got today. We'll continue it on next week and the week after that and the week after that, day in, day out. But for me, I've seen what I need to see for the morning. And yeah, I'll see y'all on Monday unless there's a bank holiday. Let's see here. No bank holiday Monday. So yeah. Peace, boys.